I've made videos in the past about self awareness. So I don't really want to talk about self awareness, but I do suggest someone watch the videos I've made about self awareness because this is kind of connected to it, where it's like self awareness and lifestyle. So, like, your lifestyle, if you're not self aware, then you might be living a lifestyle that's actually taking you farther away from the thing that you want. So, like, it's like we gotta check in with ourselves. Whether it's every year, 6 months, 2 years. I don't suggest waiting 2 years, but like, check in with your habits. What are you doing every day? And so it's like there's a trifecta between lifestyle, self awareness, and self discipline. Because these are things that exist, but other people that don't have them think they're a myth. So, like, we all know that rich people exist. Just because you aren't rich, just because you can't travel the world whenever you want, doesn't mean you don't understand and know that there are other people that do. So, like, you might have a lifestyle that's getting you farther away from your goal. Someone else might have a lifestyle that's getting them closer to their goal. And it's really about, well, the person who's getting closer to their goal, they just are consciously trying to get closer to their goal. The person that's getting farther away from their goal, they have to be unconscious because they wouldn't consciously want to get away from their goal or where they're trying to go. Like, obviously, they would want to get closer to it. So, they're doing something, habits, routines, thoughts. Something is happening that's taking them away from where they want to go or who they want to be. Because the place that we want to go sometimes is who we want to be, right? How we want to feel, how we want our lives to feel. Like, not just like feel like, oh, I feel good. No, it's like, how does your life feel to you overall? Like, because it's your life and you can make it whatever way you want. But we tend to forget that, right? So then we just unconsciously go through life. I used to hate the term like I used to hate the term NPC because I used to find it kind of disrespectful, like, like calling someone stupid or something, right? But thinking about it, right? I was thinking, okay, well, if I'm going to accept the term NPC, then I'm going to do it in my way and say, well, then we were all NPCs. Like, everyone is an NPC until they wake up, right? Like that term wake up. All these terms are overused, so they're like all words that are overused, so they're all going over everyone's head. Like, thoughts create reality, or it's just all these things, but it's real. So once you take a look at yourself and you look at, because that saying's overused, take a look in the mirror, look at yourself, like, and it's like people are misunderstanding what these things actually mean, because what they mean is look at what you're thinking. Don't just think on autopilot. Gain control of the steering wheel. Analyze your own thoughts. Put in work, right? That's the key word. Work. It has to be a work in progress, not just a theory in progress. So, like, it's good to theorize. I love coming up with theories and ideas, and like just playing around with ideas. But I also know that it's like, well, theory is great, but practical action is better. So, like, results are better than theories, right? So it's that thing where would you rather have the idea of, oh, it'd be nice if I could change my life, if I could change my routine, if I can better myself. Like, that'd be great in theory, but okay, then what's the first step? Think of the first step and then just do that first step. And it's not about anyone else because your life has nothing to do with other people. So because of that, you need to check in with your life. Be like, okay, is this the life I want to live? Me. Not the life that others would want me to live, or not the life my mother or friends or grandmother or uncle or whatever want me to live, but the life I want to live. The life that benefits me to get me to where I want to go. Because you can start thinking that and then say, okay, you notice you're doing a bunch of habits and a bunch of things that are taking you away from where you want to go or who you want to become. So then you notice and you stop doing a couple of those things. You just stop. You say, okay, I'm done. I'm done thinking that way. I'm not allowed to think that way. Because this is what I mean. You have to have self discipline. Because I've had the self discipline to tell myself, I'm not allowed to say certain words anymore. Like, I've said it in the past that it started with the N word, that I stopped saying the N word. And once I stopped saying the N word, I said, well, now I'm not allowed to say it in my head either. So I'm not allowed to say it. Like, I had to parent myself and tell myself I'm not allowed to do this, or I can't hang out with friends or have fun or do this until I get the work that I need to get done today. Like, I know the things that I need to get done. I know my first step, the second step, the third step of where I'm trying to, of what I need to do. So it's like, well, if I'm not working on those steps, then I don't deserve to do anything else. And that's a rule I made for myself. So, like, if, like, I have growth happening in my life, I'm growing. I'm expanding my consciousness. I'm expanding what it means to be me. But if I was not, I wouldn't deserve to do any of this other shit. To have fun or to smoke or to whatever. Like, I smoke cannabinoids like all the time, all day, every day. I've been taking a lot of edibles too recently, but and a lot of motherwort. But if I didn't have growth happening in my life, if I wasn't slowly becoming a better version of myself, then I wouldn't allow myself to do those things. Like when I went through the breakup 3 years ago, my ex left me, and when she left, I got a bag of weed because I was sad as fuck, right? I got a bag of weed, smoked all the weed, like the actual flower, cannabis flower, and then when I was done with that bag, I was like, I'm not smoking again until I deal with my shit. Like, until I deal with this. So then I didn't start smoking again until I dealt with my shit. And like, I smoked just pure cannabinoid distillates. So like, they're not really as intense as smoking cannabis flower. Um but I like that. Like, some of them are more clear-headed. Like, with cannabis flower, you can be a little hazy in the mind. But with some of these cannabinoid distillates, it keeps me clear headed. So, I like that. So it's like, well, now I have this thing, these certain rules, these certain things where it's like, well, I want to be clear headed. I need to be able to work on my stuff. I need to be able to do this. I need to keep bettering myself as a man, as a father, as a modern shaman, as a human, as a I just need to keep getting better and growing. And why? I don't know, this shit is just fun to me, right? I'm just having fun. I found a way to make the lifestyle fun. I found a way to make the journey fun. Because I understand that the journey is the whole point. Nothing else matters. Like, people don't get it. If the goal was the success or the destination at the end, let's say you're working so hard and you want to succeed, if you thought that way with life, then the goal would be to just be born and then die. Because the end destination of life is death. So the point of life is to enjoy the journey. But people make it so complicated, so complex. They don't allow themselves to have fun. They don't allow themselves to be happy. They don't allow themselves to do what they know they want to do or love to do or whatever. They just don't, because it's hard. It's very hard to then say, okay, I'm not going to do what society's doing. I'm going to come up with my own idea for my life. That is very hard, and it's very risky, and it's very scary because you're risking everything. Like, it's just one of those things. But if you don't make changes in your daily life, nothing else will change. So if you don't take the time to look at, okay, what am I doing every day that's helping me get to where I want to go? If you're not doing anything, then don't expect success. Like, don't expect the thing you want to just magically drop into your lap. You got to work for it. You got to build your life in a way, build a lifestyle that is like a machine that gets you to where you're trying to go. Like, the way you live life, the way you think, your perspective on reality is more important than anything. Knowing who you are, then having self-discipline to put the work in to become who you want to be, knowing where you're at, and then gaining the self-discipline to work and like get to where you want to go. Like, that's the thing. And it's about creating habits that propel you forward instead of habits that hold you back.